10 more that stood up like a wall. Carried our bags to the hall. Custom man smiled to me, said so politely, "Tell me, sir, have you any more?" I looked at him and said, "That's all." I think I was 15 when the big impact of like the Beatles happened. And of course it was then everybody's, or every young guy's dream, you know, is just get a guitar and join the band, you know. Again, I was lucky enough to be on the kind of edge of Tin Pan Alley. It was like 100 yards away. And there, of course, you've got all these guitar shops in Selma and places like that. It became my very first ambition, you know, is to get a guitar. And so my father finally agreed and succumbed to, you know, give me like £8 to buy my first Italian guitar. But I said Italian, I mean it was pretty cheap in those days.
Peace train sounding loud, ride on the peace train. Come on, peace train. This peace train, holy road. Everyone jump upon the peace train.
I found it was easier to write my own material rather than sing other people's songs because I may get it wrong. And also I just had a lot of ideas, I think because of the background, the musical textures that I was surrounded by in this area, you know, be it Spanish music or, you know, South African or rock, R&B, blue beat, you know, I mean everything was here. And then the Beatles came to crown it all. Dylan came along, of course, and then made it all very possible to think poetically in a new way. And love songs were not necessarily the only lyrics you had to write.
It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much you have to know.
The hospital was a very important place for me in defining my spiritual goals. I've been given a book called The Secret Path, and it's a Buddhist convert to Buddhism, Paul Brunton. And I began to realize that, hey, you know, here's something that's talking about the life beyond this one. And I'd just been so sick, I thought I could have, you know, popped it. So I was close to death, I felt. Enough to get worried, enough to want to know, you know, well, what happens afterwards, you know? And that set me on my path. And it also began, if you like, the new evolvement of my musical style. Because now I was decidedly going to follow my own heart.
I love everything, so don't it make you feel sad? 'Cause I'll drink to you, my baby, I'll think to that. 'Cause I'm being followed by a moonshine, 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 leaping and hopping on a moonshine, moonshine, moonshine.
As far as I was concerned, I needed a break, and I took the opportunity. And I wrote to the record company, I said, look, you know, do you mind if I don't make any more records? Maybe for a while, you know, I didn't know how long it might be, but I didn't envisage making another record at that time, but they said, fine. You know, they're very, very easy about it. A lot of people, I suppose, were very upset, the fact that there would be no more Cat Stevens, you know, records, or tours for that matter. But I was seriously making a statement that, you know, whatever I believed in, whatever I wrote about, I was sincere about it. And if I wasn't sincere, maybe I could have gone on and just kept on making records, you know, but here was a time to kind of live by my ideals. And I think that some people recognized that. But a lot of people were just sad that the music had stopped.
I listen to my words, but they fall far below. I let my music take me where my heart wants to go.